Hello everyone, it's Two Sheds Gabby, and I am going to do a nickel hunt today. I'm hoping to do the whole thing today. It's like the first week in January, and a few of you have suggested that I keep a journal of everything that I find, and I'm going to do that. I grabbed me a notebook, put my name on the front, and I've already started. I've done 2 boxes of pennies, one customer rolled and one bank rolled. I'm going to keep track of the copper, the wheat, whatever I find, a couple of dimes. And I'll just go all the way through the year and we'll see what we come up with. And I'll do the same thing with nickels and anything else that I go through, starting, yesterday or whatever. And we'll see what we find. I don't know if I'm going to write down. I guess I will. I'll probably have already done a few. I'll even write down boxes of halves that are new. I'll just put bought a box of halves new, and that'll just be the end of that. I probably need to go back. I think I've gotten maybe just one for this year. I've had several of the last week of last year, but I'll go ahead and write that in here somewhere. And I will keep track of it. But anyway, I'm going to get into this box, see if we can find us anything good. Hopefully a couple more 2024s. I found a few the last time. And we'll see what else we find. Thanks for watching, and let's get started. Oh, I won't be starting for a few more minutes because I'm making some homemade ice cream, and I think I'll enjoy a bowl of that first. Ooh, so the ice cream, we had too much heavy cream and not enough half and half and not quite enough sugar in it. It's a little bit funky. Yeah, a little heavy too. Anyway, let's get started. Well, in the first row here, I find a 1951. If it happens to be an S, that's a semi-key date. What do we got? It's a D. 51D. All right. What will we find in this box? Oh, there's a 49 right there. Cool. Is that an S? That's a D too. Well, that's neat. I went out today and bought a small generator. Oh, it's a 52. Okay. Philadelphia. There's 3 oldies in one first row. That'd be nice to get a bunch of them if I don't get nothing else. I'll tell you more about the generator in a minute. This is the 5th roll, and this is 1941. Philadelphia. Also, like 2 rows back, I found a 1956. So, we have this big storm coming. It's supposed to hit sometime in the wee hours of tomorrow morning. And they're saying my area could get anywhere from like 2 to 12 inches of snow. They never know around here in the Ohio Valley. And on top of the snow, there's supposed to be an 1/8 to a 1/2 inch of ice. And if you get ice a 1/4 inch or more, you're going to start having tons of power lines down. And I do have a couple of those, what are they called? Buddy heaters, the propane heaters, and they put off a lot of heat. I got 2 of them I've had for a while. And I got a bunch of the small cans of propane and probably a 1/2 of a big can. I think I got plenty. And when I bought the house when I first moved to Louisville from my brother-in-law, there was a great big generator, but it hadn't been started in years. Still hasn't been started in years. You need to take the gas tank off and get the line and clean the line out and put a new plug in. I just don't like doing that stuff anymore. I used to do it when I was younger. And my son, when he comes down, he loves doing that stuff, and he keeps saying he will, but we'll do another project and never get to that one because he sleeps half the time. And I'm not faulting him. He needs to sleep because he works 3rd shift and he misses sleep all the time. Anyway, I went out this morning. I just got this. It's like, why don't I just buy a small generator? We've got in their den, we got a heater, TV, DVD player. That's all we need, you know. We've got the 2 buddy heaters that'll keep the house from freezing up. So I ran up to Harbor Freight, and there's a sign outside the door that says we don't have any generators. So I went and checked a few other places. Nobody, they're all out. Everybody's out. Next row. Okay, this is the next row. So, like I said, they're all out, and I get back to the house, and I tell my wife, I said, we'll just have to make do. You know, if the power goes out, we'll be fine with those heaters. We got lots of candles and plenty of flashlights, and we got those. Got a full tank of gas in the car, and I got those chargers, you know, that hold power chargers for the phones. So we'll be fine. So we were sitting there watching TV, and all of a sudden I just thought, I just wonder what would happen if I looked at Marketplace. And just less than 10 minutes away from me was a guy selling a small generator. And he actually wasn't too gouged at all. It was fair price. So I contacted him. He wrote back and said pending. I'm like, yeah, okay. Not surprised. I said, if it happens to fall through, I want it. And about 3 hours later, he goes, you still want it? I'm like, yeah, I'll be there in just a few minutes. So I went and got it. And it's sitting out there with extension cord all ready to go. I went and got a tank of gas, can of gas. So I think we're in pretty good shape for this coming up storm. It's supposed to last. It's supposed to continue snowing and icing for over a 24-hour period. That's pretty crazy big storm. So I'm looking forward. I'm not a huge snow fan, but you know what? I look forward to having. We don't have to do anything. They used to always have to shovel all the ice. We can just sit back. Here's a 1952 D. I think the 52 Philadelphia is the low mint one in this one. I think. Maybe I'm thinking of the 50. That's what it is. Okay, anyway, so I think we're pretty good shape. If we get 8 or 10 inches of snow, I'm just going to look out the window and think that's fantastic. We got a big pot of homemade chicken noodle soup almost ready to go too. 12th row, here's a 1948. It is a Denver 1948. I also found a couple of 57s in the last few rows. The gentleman, oh, by the way, this box of nickels I picked up in Mooresville, Indiana. That's southwest of Indianapolis. It's kind of part of Indianapolis, but its own area called Mooresville in the Indianapolis metropolitan area. Anyway, the guy that sold me the generator, is that your little lady I see there with you? And I said, yes, sir. And I paid him, and he handed me $10 back. He goes, go get you guys an ice cream. I'm like, well, thank you. And he goes, I'll send you a picture and show you why. And I guess that's just his nature. What a nice guy. And so this ice cream that we ate, I'm not going to consider that as counting. We'll go get us an ice cream with that $10 at some point. Not today. Ugh. My gut's saying that was too much heavy cream. Yep. Now I'm in the 15th row, and here is a 1941 Philadelphia. And that makes 4 from the 40s. And this is my 10th so far for my hoarding stack. But nothing else. You know, I guess it was the middle of last year. Man, I was getting Buffalo nickels with dates pretty regularly there for a little while. That has come to an end, it seems like. I haven't gotten a silver in several boxes now. That's kind of a drag. 17th row now. Here's a 1949. An S would be nice here. And it is. How about that, guys? That is a semi-key date, 1949S. Cool beans. Also found a 54 a little while ago, a couple rows back. Pretty cool. I had, when I woke up this morning, 4 boxes of nickels and a box of pennies to go through. And I had an occasion, something else came up for me to run to the, oh, there goes the ambulance. I had a reason to run to the bank. And so while I was there, I picked up another box of nickels and another box of pennies. So if this turns out to be a pretty devastating storm that gets us frozen for a while, I have, including this box, 5 boxes of nickels and 2 boxes of pennies to keep me busy. So if that happens, and if I have electricity, I'll try to keep the videos coming. I can store some of the video on my phone, but I don't want to try to get 2 or 3 videos ahead all on my phone. I probably could, but hopefully I won't have to. I believe this is like the 23rd roll. Looks like we've got us a penny. That penny is a 2020. It's not copper, but look what was in the same roll with it, folks. How about them apples? We've got ourselves a wartime silver.
Nice.
That's exciting. 1945, Philadelphia.
Cool.
This is silver coin number 1 for the year 2025 for me. Cool beans. That's fun. 35% silver. I will also keep track of the dimes. That'd be great if the silver dimes kept coming in this year. I called it was just this morning or yesterday morning, and they didn't have a bag yet. So I'll try them again next week. You know, they get them when they get them, and I'll just try to stay on top of it and buy all of them that they have this year. And I'll keep track of those for sure. Folks, I just picked up the next row and look what I got there. Oh, that's funny. I had not checked the ends on these. I completely forgot. I picked up a couple of them to see if there's 24s, and it wasn't, so I didn't even bother. But that's funny. There's my second penny. This one might be copper. This one's copper, so that's neat. Not a complete loss. I'm now into the second half. I've gone through a few rows, and in the last several rows, I have picked up 3 more from the 50s, a 54, a 56, and a 58. This is the 3rd row. I guess that's the next row, and here's a 1940. And just earlier in the row, there was a 1952 Philadelphia. The 1940 is a Philadelphia. So that's the oldest one from this box so far. I haven't found a 38 or 9 for a little while. Now the older coins, my hoarding coins, are starting to stack up pretty good, I guess, for this box. What do we got there? Oh, there's a 54. Denver. That's 3 in this row. That's pretty cool. Oh my goodness, look at that. 2009 Philadelphia. That was a pretty good roll. Wow. A little scratchy up, but that's kind of cool. 2009. Those are fun to find too, I tell you. Man, that's cool. 2009 Philadelphia. Well, that, I guess, is a penny. Wow. That is messed up. 2002. I have found 2 more from the 50s. I'm getting a pretty good stack here, folks, of the hoarding nickels. That's my 3rd penny. I'm losing money left and right here. But I'd say already I got a decent box. This is the 9th roll in the second half. And we've already got a 2009 and a silver. So that's pretty nifty. I've gone through 10 rolls in the second half now, and I found another one from the 50s. But this one's kind of neat. I guess off-center. It's not way off, but it's kind of cool having that second line there. Saw it right away. It's a little bit neat. 15th roll in the second half, and look what just poked through. You see that? That's number 2. 1943 Philadelphia silver number 2. Oh yeah. That just made this a good box right there. You add the 2009 to it. Wow.
Wow, incredible.
That's pretty nifty there. Cool beans. 2 silvers. Make up for the last several boxes that didn't have any. But I did get a couple of 24s in the last few boxes. I wouldn't even mind getting another one. But I've got to take another break after this roll and get back out again. I think that'll be like the 5th time today I've gotten out. Oh, man. But I've got this generator, and I've only got like a few gallons of gas. So I'm going to go out there and grab me another gas can and go fill up another gas can. So I'll have a little bit more gasoline if I need this generator the next few days. I don't want to get out, but I guess I should. With 8 rolls to go, I finally did find a 46. I was beginning to wonder. I've been finding a lot of them. I also found 2 others from the 50s. I got a big old stack of going my hoarding nickels here today. That's pretty neat. And I did just get back from getting gas. So this morning I got up and I thought, man, since my generator that I have is not working. Let me stop the next row. Okay, next row. Anyway, I got up this morning and we're having coffee together. And I'm like, you know what? Since our generator ain't working, I'm just going to go up to Harbor Freight or somewhere and grab just a little one so we can at least run the heater, you know. And she's like, oh, that's a great idea. So I ran up there, and outside the door that says no generators. So I run over to another place, no generators. Like, oh my goodness. So while I was out, I picked up some more cans of that propane, the smaller cans. And then I come home and I contacted this fellow on Facebook who was just less than 10 minutes from me. He had one for sale on Marketplace, but he says it's pending. I'm like, well, okay, put me next in line, please. I said, I am very interested. I'll come get it. So then we had a check here. I said, I probably ought to get that deposited while I can. So I ran back up and deposited the check. And while I was out doing that, I got some gas in my car, and I took a gas can with me just in case I thought I might need it, and just to have some. And I've got a can full of gas. And then I come home, and a little bit later, my mom comes over and goes, will you go fill up my car? I'm like, okay, sure, I'll do that. So I go over there and get her car next door, take it and fill it up. And I come back, and then the guy writes to me and says, they didn't come get the generator. You still want it? I'm like, yeah. So I took off up there. That guy's pretty eat up. So I didn't take a can with. I should have grabbed a can, but I didn't. I rushed off up there and got the generator and come back and pretty tickled that I was able to get it. And then we're sitting there. It's like that one can of gas. If we're out of power for 2 or 3 days, that one can of gas is probably not going to hold up. So I went out and got a bigger can and went out and got like 4.5 more gallons, something like that. 5 times I've been out today, and I hope that that's the end of it. I have 7 rows to go. Look at that. That's the 50s and that's the 40s. 2009 in my silvers. That's pretty cool. Still might find a few more things. 2 rolls to go, folks. Look at this. 2024. It's so funny because in this row, I was just going through them and flicking them over, the ones that are reversed. I was thinking, you just never know. The one you flick over could be the one. And there it is. 2024D. And it's a nice one, too. How about that? I think we've done pretty good this box. Pretty neat. It seems like several of them I've found have been there toward the end. I don't know. Kind of cool, though. 2024D. We got one. I was thinking earlier, I got these 2 rolls left. And when I go through nickels at night, I try to be pretty careful not to knock one over. I got this wooden table. And if my wife's in bed, listen to this. It's so loud. I really try not to knock any over after she's gone to. I don't try to knock them over any time except just then. But they are so loud. 2 war times, a 2009, a 2024, D, even. Pretty nifty. 2 more rows. Well, I am about to the end of the last row. And my wife's in there sneezing 11 times. Poor thing. Sneeze, sneeze, sneeze. Oh, yesterday I went into a bank to return some coins. One of these bags here. And somehow they slipped. Over half the bag fell in front of the machine on the tile floor. Pennies and dimes. I am on my knees picking those things up for 15 minutes. You have to pick, the slick tile floor, had to pick them up one at a time. Oh, it was miserable. Golly. Nobody came to my rescue. Goodness. I haven't got my 2024 silver put away yet to start my new 2025 box. I'll have to do that before I get my 2 new ward nickels put in there. Well, one thing I had to do was clear out all my silver from the 2024. Just put it in with all my other silver, get them all together, and then start over for 2025. And I'll get to that in just a minute. Part of what I'm doing is I'm combining this year's stuff with last year's stuff, and then filling rolls when I need to. Roll of 68s, roll of the 67s, that sort of thing. All my containers in my 2025 silver box are now empty, and it's time for my beginning of that 2025 silver year, starting with 2 wartime nickels. So we're in the journal. We got the 4th, 1 box from Indianapolis, 2 silvers, 1 2024D, 1 2009, 28 nickels for my hoarding. And there you have it. That was a pretty good box, I do believe. I was pretty happy with that for sure. I'm going to try to get everything going to be ready to do another box of something tomorrow, nickels or pennies or something. Seeing what kind of weather we get. I'll obviously show you a video or pictures or something if we get any crazy snow or ice or anything. So thanks a lot for watching, and let me know what you think. If you got any other ideas, I'd love to hear them. Have a good one.